Good morning, everyone. Trying a different camera angle here after I realized that most vloggers on YouTube actually use the landscape mode as opposed to the portrait mode. My bad for the first video. And today is January 7th. It is 9:50 in the morning and I'm starting my day a little bit late. As you can see, I'm still in my pajamas. Hashtag woke up like this. But if you follow the news, Puerto Rico, which is where I'm from, and all my family and friends are there, was hit by some pretty rough earthquakes, mostly in the south, but the entire island felt them. So with the time difference between Puerto Rico and here being Hawaii, there's a 6-hour difference. They felt it early, like 5, 6 in the morning, so it was 11 p.m. midnight here, and I went to bed at about 1:30 in the morning, talking to my parents, following the news, consoling people who are here with me who are also from Puerto Rico, as well as friends in the States and the other states who were posting very concerned news. And it was a very long night. I also took off the do not disturb on my phone because obviously if anything happened, I wanted my phone to ring. And I just had so many messages on my phone. I had to mute a few conversations. My husband's phone was also going off, and it was just a very long night. But today I didn't have to take my husband to work, so I woke up about an hour after he did. The bad thing for him is that he is actually getting very sick. This morning was also, again, like I mentioned yesterday, if you saw yesterday's video, it's not routine. And that's something that I want to share. I don't know if I'll do it today, but share with you that I work with a block schedule, sort of like in school, where if the bell rings, you go to math, bell rings, you go to English, bell rings, you go to science. As soon as my bell rings here at home, I'm either at the computer or I'm doing chores or I'm working the business or I'm doing something different. And I am not following that schedule whatsoever between yesterday and today. So far what I've done is take care of the kitchen, take care of my husband, take care of the dogs. I spent quite a bit of time on the computer. I was about half an hour on the phone with my parents. And now I'm going to start my day. I have to do quite a bit of cleaning because we have a husky indoors. And oh my goodness, does she ever shed. If you have a husky or one of those very hairy dogs, you know what I'm talking about. Got to Swiffer the house, time to mop. We didn't get to mop last week. I also have some action items like submitting my income-based repayment for my student loan. I didn't get to send out any Christmas stuff this year because I was so sick. So I'm going to try to do some Valentine's stuff. I'm going to get my day started now. I am really rocking the no makeup look these days, but you know, I didn't take care of my skin for almost a month, and it's always nice to give your skin a little break. It's starting to look really clear too. These things are starting to finally go away. So I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing because it's gonna yield results. It is 2:47 in the afternoon. I have not done any of the house chores that I originally wanted to do because after the last time that I recorded, I stayed on my computer to empty my cloud, submit my income-based repayment. After that, I realized it was already lunchtime, so I had to get my lunch because I had to take my medicine. And then I hopped in the shower. I always let my hair air dry because I do enjoy having curls, so I just put on a leave-in conditioner and let it air dry. Believe it or not, even though my morning has been somewhat chill despite the kind of rough night with the earthquake news in Puerto Rico, the fact that my husband is getting sick, I did get a little fatigue, and I don't know if it's Crohn's fatigue, but I just took about like half an hour after my shower and I was on the phone catching up on the news from Puerto Rico and also replying to some messages. I had people asking me how my family was doing. I love them so much. I love all my friends for caring so much about people they've never met. As soon as I saw there were more bad news in the world, I turned off my phone, got dressed, fixed my hair, and then I got a message from my husband asking me to make him some Jello, which means that his throat is getting worse. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just making some Jello. I guess I'll just tackle the next thing on my to-do list depending on how the day goes, because I can always plan what I want to do. I can do a to-do list. I can do a schedule. I actually have an agenda. I'm going to show you. my agenda for 2020. I like to have my agendas with timestamps like this, because that just helps me track everything better. Like, I know when things should happen, and if it doesn't, then I know how to shift things around. But really, what I do during the day depends a lot on how my body's doing, how I'm feeling, external factors like if my husband calls me that he's not feeling well. But I'm gonna get going on this Jello so I can put it in the fridge, hopefully have it ready by the time he gets home. Let's see how the rest of the day goes. Darn cough. I just got some test results back. Thankfully, I did test negative on all the stool, no viruses, no pathogens, etc., etc. However, the blood test did show, I mean, we kind of already expected this. My auto antibodies are sky high. These things that came back positive or high, it was expected. I did get 10 tubes drawn. I had allergies, thyroid, pancreas, lipids, that's my liver, CBC. I had vitamin B, vitamin D, immunoglobulin A, which is for inflammation. And thank goodness all the stool samples came back negative, because then I would have to research a whole lot more. So I spent an hour on that, and I spent a good 30 minutes or so replying one of my volunteer emails that I mentioned before. I volunteer for Soldier and Family Readiness. We're trying to plan an event for this month. Between my hands shaking a little bit as I type, and my mind is not foggy, but it is a little slow. I'm reading what the last person wrote, and I'm trying to reply in a coherent manner and also professionally. So I can't just type something out like I'm chatting with my best friend. So that took me a little bit as well. But it's 5 in the afternoon. My husband isn't home yet, which kind of stinks because he is deploying. They're supposed to, I mean, they're not supposed to, but they like to let them go early so they can spend more time with their families. Yesterday he got home early. That was a great surprise. And then today it's 5 in the afternoon and still no husband. So now that I'm done with the computer officially, I am going to tackle the floor. Okay, confession time. I did not get to the floors, but I did get to do a lot of other things. After I had said that I finished with the computer, I remembered that I have my video editing software on my old laptop. So I actually tried to download it and it wasn't compatible. And then I had some issues with drivers I had to update. While I was doing that, my husband got home. So obviously then I spent time with him. Then I got my computer to accept the video editing software. Now I am putting away all the dishes from the dishwasher, loading the dirty ones into the dishwasher. And that was after I made dinner and edited my first vlog, which I will hopefully be uploading soon. I didn't clean the floors. That is moved onto tomorrow, but I did get to edit a video, so. Good morning. Is it too early? Cozy. Good morning, everybody. It is 10:15 in the morning, January 8th. I've been waiting in the car for almost half an hour for my husband to get some more medical attention at the clinic. He's actually getting worse. So I figured I would continue what I accidentally forgot to continue last night, which is vlogging. After I put away the dishes, and by the way, God bless whoever invented good dishwashers, because if you still wash dishes by hand like I used to, you know what I'm talking about. It is a lifesaver. But yes, after I finished with the kitchen last night, I was trying to get my first vlog to upload to YouTube, and it was taking forever. So between that and waiting for the right time to take my medicine before bed, I got caught up doing other things, and by the time I remembered to continue vlogging, my husband was already asleep. I didn't want to wake him up, and I figured I'll just continue tomorrow. And here we are. As you can see, I'm in a car rental, and that's pretty much all we've done excuse me, this morning, other than me bringing him over to the doctor. Our day did start at 5 a.m., but things tend to run a little more slowly when people don't understand that Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens. Add to that an employee wakes up on the wrong side of bed and you don't understand each other, things just go nowhere fast. So we dropped off our car at 7:45 in the morning and got the car rental at 9:30 because the employee who was taking his information, when he handed his driver's license over to her, she said, "Ooh, this is a Puerto Rico license. Do you have a U.S. license?" And everything inside me just bubbled up instantly. And even though I was at the back of the room, I still told her in the front at the counter, a Puerto Rico license is a U.S. license. But my husband was a little calmer than I was. I was still steaming from the last lady we talked to. And she said, "Ooh, I've just never seen this before." So she pulled out a manual that showed all the licenses by state. And of course, Puerto Rico is not a state, so she couldn't find it between Philadelphia and Oregon. But in the end, she did find it when she associated Puerto Rico to Guam, which is another territory. So she knew Guam was one, but she didn't know Puerto Rico was one. And even commented, "Oh, you guys have real ID down there too." Like, anyway, things run a little more slowly when things like that happen. So we got here at about 10 to 10 and it is now 10:15, and I'm just waiting for him to finish up in the clinic so I can drop him off at work, and then I'll go to the lab, drop off my last sample before my appointment tomorrow, and then I can start my day. Which honestly, as you've seen in my last videos, if I've actually done a good job at this and you've watched them, they don't really go the way that I plan. So I'll list things by hour, or I'll do block schedules and say this has to happen in the morning, this has to happen in the afternoon, or this has to happen before a certain time in the day. And then things like this happen, and I just kind of do whatever I can with whatever time I get. So right now for today, I have on my list to schedule a doctor's appointment. Get to those darn floors, get into the habit of editing these videos if this is something that I'm really gonna pursue. And probably this is something that I really want to do, but it is time and energy consuming, and I'm not 100% there yet, but I would like to start up my business again, because I do actually have some orders that I've had on hold since December, and I feel awful about that. Valentine's is also around the corner, so I want to get some things started so nothing is last minute. Well, I would really like to get started on my business again. But again, we'll see what the day brings and what time permits, and that's what's gonna get done. Oh my gosh, it is 11:30. I am still here. I have to take my medicine, and I was supposed to hand in my samples within 24 hours of collecting the last one, and I'm running dangerously close. And I asked Gabby, should I just leave for the lab now and come back for you? And he said, no, they're almost done with me. That was 10 minutes ago. So I'm starting to flip out a little. I'm starting to regret not going to the lab earlier. But how are you supposed to predict these things, you know? Hey everyone, little editor's note here. I am editing yesterday's vlog to post tomorrow and realized that I forgot to continue vlogging. When I post this vlog, everything will be explained. So I just wanted to add a little closure to this vlog right now because it is incomplete, and I'm just going to take it as a learning experience. I am new to this, and now I know what I should avoid not doing or doing in the future. Just bear with me, but thanks so much for your support and all your constructive criticism and all of your feedback. And if you can hear, my husband is cleaning, and here comes my dog. Lala. Anyway, I'm just going to post what I have up until now and hope that you enjoy the content. I'll see you soon.